The NBA is one of the most watched sports in all of history. Every year records are broken and millions of people remain entertained. There's a lot of casual NBA fans out there that don't know or even care to know much about the history of the game. I'm not one of those fans. So today I want to discuss 6 things you probably didn't know about the NBA. Let's get into them.
What's up guys, OG the Beast here, and before we even break this thing open, I want to congratulate the Golden State Warriors for beating the Cavs in 4 games. Convincing fashion. It's kind of bittersweet because the end of the finals means the end of the basketball season. But on a more positive note though, I will be posting more football content with the season coming up in just a few short months. I do both sports on this channel if y'all ain't know. But as for today's video, we're gonna be talking about 6 things you probably didn't know about the NBA. I'm sure some of y'all may already know about some of the things I may discuss. Hell, maybe all the things I may discuss. But if you do or you don't, comment the number down below for which one you didn't know. And remember, be honest y'all, don't be lying either. Drop my intro.
It's killer raps, we got the hottest staff. In 03 I made a dynasty like Robert Kraft.
Number 6, jump balls used to be after every made basket. Jump balls are primarily used at the beginning of the game if refs can't determine a clear possession of the ball and at the start of overtime. So can you imagine how this must have been when the game was first invented? Back in 1891, the first basketball game ever played began with a jump ball by inventor Dr. James Naismith. By rule, after every made basket, both teams go to the center court to partake in quote-unquote the center jump, which was its original name at the time. This was unfair because the tallest player on the court at the time usually won majority of the tip-offs, obviously. Decades later, the rule eventually changed to every quarter there was a jump ball. Then it eventually went to what it is today. Games were lasting over 6 hours in some circumstances. Man, I'm glad them days is over. Number 5, the 3-point shot was actually originated in the ABA. The ABA was constructed to be in competition with the NBA. They offer more of an up-tempo, flashy style of play with a colored ball and a line that was about 25 feet from the basket, called the 3-point line. Most thought it was a joke and mainly used as a trick shot of some sort. So after the merger in 1976, the NBA adopted some of the ABA's rules. It took a few years, but the 3-point line was finally implemented in the 1979 season, which so happens to be Bird and Magic's rookie year. That season, teams shot 0.8 threes a game and only attempted 5,003 3-pointers collectively, the entire NBA. To put that into context, this season, 2017-18 season, the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets attempted 5,839 threes just between the two. What was once thought of as a gimmick or a trick shot, later turned into a game changer. Number 4, the Raptors didn't draft Vince Carter. The 1998 draft was a pretty good draft. It had players like Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, White Chocolate, Jason Williams, and Larry Hughes to name a few. But the Raptors had the 4th pick that year and drafted Antoine Jameson. But then they immediately traded the pick to Golden State for the one and only Vince Sanity. That was big time because Vince Carter would end up being a future Hall of Famer, and Jameson, I mean, he was an okay player, but definitely not the caliber of Vince Carter. Number 3, the Celtics won a title in the 80s without Bird, Parrish, or McHale being Finals MVP. In 1981, the 62-win Boston Celtics would face off against the Houston Rockets for the title. Now, as we all know, Boston was a hell of a team and had a bunch of great talent throughout franchise history, but nobody saw this coming. A forward by the name of Cedric Maxwell would steal the show in the finals. In games 3, 4, and 5, he would score a grand total of 71 points, averaging 17 points per game and 9 rebounds for the series, taking home Finals MVP honors. What's crazy is Bird averaged 15 points and 15 rebounds for the series, which ain't that bad, but I guess that wasn't enough. But hey, at least Steph Curry could say he wasn't the only one to get beat out by a role player for the MVP. Shout out to Andre Iguodala. Number 2, the Sham God is a move named after an actual person. Sham God Wells, formerly known as God Sham God, was a point guard for Providence College back in the late 90s. He actually played in the NBA for 20 games with the Washington Wizards. He also played overseas in China, but is widely known for street ball. The first time the Sham God move was seen was during the 1997 NCAA Regional Finals versus Arizona. Ever since, the move was mimicked by many in the league. Players such as Chris Paul, Jamal Crawford, and Kyrie Irving use this move on a regular basis in today's NBA. Sham God Wells is currently an assistant coach for the Dallas Mavericks. Sham God is a street ball legend that some would even go as far as to call him the greatest dribbler they've ever seen. And number 1, LeBron James was almost stripped of high school eligibility in his senior year. Time Warner Cable tried to get LeBron James' high school games to be televised through their pay-per-view services to gain popularity during his senior season. St. Vincent St. Mary declined. That's how good LeBron James was as a high school player. But during his senior year, he got caught in an unfortunate situation. Check it out. The Ohio High School Athletic Association's guidelines state that no amateur may accept any gift valued over $100 as a reward for their athletic performances. But LeBron James once accepted 2 throwback jerseys worth about $850 from a clothing store in exchange for an autographed picture, which definitely violated OHSAA rules. So because of this, the OHSAA actually stripped LeBron of his high school sports eligibility for his senior year. Of course, he ended up appealing the ruling, and his penalty was reduced to only a 2-game suspension, allowing him to continue the year. St. Vincent St. Mary was also forced to forfeit one of their wins, which resulted in the only loss that season. You can tell LeBron was kind of mad about this because his first game back from suspension, he dropped a career-high 52 points in a victory, and we all know what would eventually turn into that when he got to the NBA, one of the greatest players of all time.
Now that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Those were 6 things that you probably didn't know about the NBA. And remember, let me know down in them comments with the number that's associated with the one that you didn't know. Please subscribe to the channel if you love sports the way that I do. And also leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. Until next time, OG out.